We are back once again, guys. We're here to talk about Smackdown Live. Honestly, I really think Smackdown. I know it was 2 hours, but if I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think it would. I didn't. I just didn't think. I didn't find SmackDown. I didn't find SmackDown too enjoyable. That's just my opinion. I thought SmackDown was a bit. Just, that's just how I feel about it, to be honest. I just didn't think SmackDown was that good. It was alright. I'm not saying it was a bad show, but we kicked off the show with Big Show versus Kofi Kingston, and oh god. I guess this is SmackDown. I guess SmackDown. I guess this is SmackDown's a trade. I guess, Raw gets bloody Nikki Bella and Brie Bella and Tamina, so SmackDown has to get Big Show. Ugh, they've really ruined the brand split, guys. They have. They've really ruined the brand split, and it upsets me. But this match ends in no contest. But Big Show and the Bar stand tall in the end. Now, we had Usos versus AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan again, and the Usos once again get the victory. This has to be WWE's way on building the Usos back up, because if you guys remember back on Monday Night Raw sometime this year, they did the exact same thing with the Revival. Like, the Revival beat Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley, and that got them up the rankings in the Raw Tag Team title picture. So, hopefully they do the exact same thing here with the Usos. Rusev versus Aiden English. Didn't really care for this. But Rusev gets the victory, and that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it for the whole Rusev and Aiden English. I'm guessing this is it for the feud. I don't know if this was just a short feud, or they're going to continue it. But that's it. Rusev gets the victory. It was a pretty quick match. So I'm guessing. I guess it was the last part. But either way, moving on. The Miz and Rey Mysterio, they have a segment on Miz TV. This was alright, I guess. This was alright. This was pretty enjoyable. Then we get an impromptu. Then after the break, we get Rey Mysterio versus The Miz in a decent match. And Rey Mysterio picks up the victory, obviously, because he's not going to lose. He's just come back. And then we had it was meant to be a women's tag team match, but I guess we can actually be thankful that we didn't get this match to happen, because, I think we all are very sick and tired of tag team matches and women being involved in those two categories. Naomi and Asuka were going to take on Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. It was originally meant to be a one-on-one match between Mandy Rose and Naomi, but on WWE.com they challenged both Naomi and Asuka. But the match never really got underway. The Iconics came out, Carmella came out, Lana came out, and then a big ass brawl just goes down between all the women, and I guess and Zelina Vega as well. So all the women on SmackDown had this big brawl, and Zelina Vega was all alone in the ring by herself. Eventually, when the ring cleared out, and she thought she was the last woman standing. Then she turns around and runs into Asuka, and Asuka was standing tall. Now, with Asuka being the one that's standing tall at the end of this, I guess this means Asuka isn't going to be winning the Battle Royal. Because if you know how stuff works, it's normally the people that has the most momentum don't normally win. So Asuka stands tall in this. So that's just how I see it as, is like, oh yeah, Asuka stood tall. I don't think she's winning this battle royal. And I understand how badly people want Asuka to be resurrected and, back on track again. Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm bored of Asuka. I'm bored of Asuka. She doesn't need to be in the title picture. She shouldn't be in the title picture until she gets revamped. And the only way to revamp this woman's career is to turn her heel. There's no reason to keep Asuka as a face. I say, turn this woman heel, have her lose this battle royal, and have this as a trigger to turn this girl heel. Asuka needs to turn heel. I'm tired of this smiley, happy, loving Asuka. You want the badass Asuka again? I say turn her heel, and then maybe we will get the badass Asuka again. That's how it needs to happen. I think Asuka should turn heel at Evolution. Maybe have Naomi eliminate Asuka, and have Naomi eliminate Asuka, or have Asuka eliminate Naomi. You could do it in one or two ways. That's just my opinion. I think Asuka isn't winning the Battle Royal, which I will make my prediction on who I think will win the Battle Royal in my predictions video on Sunday. Shane McMahon is back. Shane McMahon is back. He's here to promote the WWE World Cup to determine who is the best in the world. Sorry, I got caught. Got something stuck in my throat. Again, I've said it many times, I just don't care for this World Cup. The only way this World Cup could ever be special is that if it's not in Saudi Arabia. Now, I've heard stories that Daniel Bryan and John Cena are both refusing to work Crown Jewel if it's in Saudi Arabia. That's what I've heard, and people like Wrestle Talk News have mentioned this, and among other sources have mentioned that John Cena and Daniel Bryan are refusing to work Crown Jewel if it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. And if I was WWE, I would not have it in Saudi Arabia. I'd say move it back to Madison Square Garden, because it's so bizarre how back in the old days when I used to watch WWE, Madison Square Garden was like the one place they would tend to go to a lot. And I found it really, really odd that it's been so long since they've gone back there. What happened? That's I know it's taken me this long to realize it, but what happened? I don't know what happened. What happened between WWE and Madison Square Garden? Did WWE think Madison Square Garden, wasn't good enough anymore, so they decided to go to Brooklyn and Chicago? I don't know what's going on here. If anybody knows what went down between WWE and Madison Square Garden, let me know, because I don't know why WWE hasn't been going back to Madison Square Garden for this long period of time. So if Crown Jewel is to be special, it needs to go to Madison Square Garden. I don't want it to be in Saudi Arabia. Daniel Bryan and John Cena don't want to go there. They are refusing to work Crown Jewel if it's going to go in that country. And also reports have said that John Cena could be replaced if they are going to Saudi Arabia. And since John Cena has been promoted, he got promoted on Raw during that Kurt Angle segment, maybe they're not going. We'll have to wait and see. Because honestly, This whole situation is so confusing. It's just not worth it trying to analyze it. But either way, WWE should move Crown Jewel to somewhere else. That's all I'm saying. They need to move it somewhere else. Charlotte and Becky had a brawl at the Performance Center. Now, this was filmed. This was filmed. I don't understand how one of my friends believes that this actually happened this week. It happened like last week. Sometime, somewhere this week. I don't know when it happened, but apparently it happened. And Charlotte and Becky had a brawl at the Performance Center in NXT. There's really nothing I can say there. They just had a brawl. Obviously, they're obviously trying something different, which I do appreciate. Last thing we're going to talk about, guys. Randy Orton versus Jeff Hardy. You know, if you've seen this match once, you've seen it so many times. Look, I'm not going to take anything away from this match. It was alright. It was really good. Randy Orton got the victory over Jeff Hardy, so he should. He's a heel. He needs to continue his momentum. If anybody should win this World Cup tournament, it should be Randy Orton. That's just how I feel about it. So, that's pretty much everything, guys. I wanted to get this review out quickly. I know it's a bit late. I normally do my reviews a bit early on, but it's a bit late here for me. That I've been quite busy. So, yeah. I've been quite busy, but you will be getting this review now. So, thank you all so much for joining me. I forgot my words. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hit the thumbs up if you guys did enjoy the video. Comment your opinions down below on what your thoughts are on Smackdown Live. Be sure to subscribe if you have not done so. And also be sure to follow me on my Twitter at pvalentine95. Thank you all so much for joining me. And I will see you all tomorrow for NXT.